Hey, it's Justin from Number Crunch Nerds, and today we're going to talk about the self-employed health insurance deduction and how you get it into TurboTax. A lot of people are having trouble finding this because if you go to this article, for example, put out by Intuit, it says right here, this health insurance write-off is entered into Part 2 of Schedule 1. And actually, that's where it will appear, but it's not where you enter it. And that's one of the reasons people are having trouble finding this. So we're going to go over how to get this into TurboTax. We're going to use the TurboTax Home and Business Edition. I'm just going to move this out of the way here. So self-employed health insurance deduction. We're going to enter it under other common business expenses in TurboTax. So we're on the business tab right here. Click continue. For this example, I'll choose what I want to work on right here. Okay, now in this first section of the business income and expenses, if you go down to the bottom where it says less common business situations, you will actually see self-employed health insurance right here. But when you click on this to update it, it's actually not where you enter the information. It says self-employed health insurance premiums must be entered with the business expenses for the rest of your business. So when you click continue here, it just takes you right back to this screen. So this is not where you enter it. Where you enter it is up here, business income and expenses. We'll click to update that. You should have a business listed here already where you're entering all of the other information about your business. If you don't, you're going to have to start right here on this button, adding a business into the system. Once it's here, you click edit. Okay, now we're in the section for this business specifically. In this example, I've called this an online sales business. Whatever your business is called will be listed right here. The place you enter it is down here under business expenses, other common business expenses. I'm going to click update here. And right here under insurance payments, health, we're going to click on that. Health insurance premiums, deduct up to 100% of the premiums for you, your spouse, and your dependents if your business shows a net profit. So we're going to enter $4,000, which I've already put in here. Medical insurance, $4,000. This is for you or your spouse or your dependents, not for employees. And you enter it right here. Now let's make sure that this is showing up because some people have entered this and then they can't seem to find it on the return. So once it's in here, we're going to go to Forms. So this is where we are right here. We entered the information under Other Common Business Expenses in the Business section of TurboTax. The number will appear on Schedule C under line 15. So we're going to go to Schedule C, and we're going to go to line 15. Where is Schedule C? Right here. We're going to go down to line 15. Insurance other than health. Right here, under line 15, self-employed health insurance. Here's the $4,000 that we entered. Now, you'll notice that it doesn't actually appear. It only appears like on the side here. It doesn't appear in the actual columns where the numbers are being totaled up to determine your business income and loss. That is because the self-employed health insurance deduction is calculated outside of the Schedule C. Schedule C right here is the profit or loss from your business. The system will determine if you have a profit or loss first before considering if it's going to allow you to take this deduction. So in this case, the information that I have entered right now is I have $5,000 of income and I have $11,500 of expenses excluding this $4,000. This is $11,500 of expenses that are unrelated to the $4,000. That gives me a tentative loss of $6,500. So now, following that article that we just looked at, if we go back over here, it says this health insurance write-off is entered on Part 2 of Schedule 1. So let's go to Schedule 1, which is right up here. And we're going to go to Part 2, which is adjustments to income. And we're going to look right here on line 17, self-employed health insurance deduction. And it's blank. There's $4,000 that we entered for. The premiums does not appear here. And the reason it does not appear is because I have a loss entered for this business right now. If you look down here, it says earned income limitation. The business can, the deduction cannot exceed the earned income you collect from your business. So because this business currently is entered with a loss, the self-employed health insurance deduction does not appear here on line 17. So what we're going to do, so you can see how that will change, is we're going to go back to business and income right here. I'll choose what I want to work on. We're going to update this. I'm going to update the business one more time. Under business income, which I currently have 5,000 in there. Let's update that. And I'm going to change it from 5,000 to 20,000 for this example. And then I'm going to click continue. And then I'm going to click continue again. Now there's 20,000 in there. So let's go back to Schedule C under the Forms view right here. Let's scroll down. This is Schedule C. Now we have $20,000 of revenue. Scroll down. The $4,000 of self-employed insurance premium still is over here. It never appears in this area on Schedule C. But now, because of the $11,500 of expenses, and we changed the revenue to $20,000, we now have a profit, a tentative profit of $8,500, which means there's enough income, enough profit here from this business to potentially allow this $4,000. So now we're going to go back to Schedule 1, Part 2, which is right here, Schedule 1. Let's scroll down to Part 2. And now it appears. Here is the self-employed health insurance deduction, which you're getting a benefit for, the full $4,000, because there was enough income from the business to allow this. You were not limited by this earned income limitation. So when you go back here to other common business expenses, right here, here's the insurance payments for health that you're entering for yourself. Let's go over the basic criteria to make sure that you're entering the right thing. What do you enter for self-employed health insurance deduction? Medical and dental insurance paid for yourself, your spouse, or your dependents, but do not enter medical insurance that you purchased from the health insurance marketplace, also known as Obamacare. That information goes on Form 1095-A. Do not enter medical insurance premiums for any month where you or your spouse were eligible for an employer's health plan, some other employer's health plan. It doesn't mean you were on the plan, it just means you were eligible for it. This is a month-by-month determination. So if for 6 months out of the year you were eligible for another employer's health insurance program, whether you were actually on it or not, doesn't matter. If you were eligible, then your own medical insurance premiums that you paid as a self-employed individual are not deductible. So only enter the information for months when you were not eligible for another employer's health plan. Long-term care premiums, don't enter those in this section. There is a separate entry for those, and actually it's right. It's also within this, under this insurance payments. Click this. Long-term care insurance will go down here in this section. And then finally, medical insurance premiums you paid for any employees. So this is not you, your spouse, and your dependents. This is for other people working for you. There is a separate entry for these. And actually, that is, if we go back here, that is the one right above this, up here, employee expenses. We'll go into that. Health insurance, employee benefits, health insurance, that's what will go right here. I just put in Cigna Health as an example, $8,000. This is for employees, not for you, your spouse, or your dependents. And that is how you get self-employed health insurance deduction into TurboTax.